Hello and welcome to today's community conversation around intermittent fasting. Today I'm going to share with you 5 very common and very simple mistakes that a lot of women are making when they are kicking off their intermittent fasting journey. And also for us who have been practicing intermittent fasting for a while, these little mistakes can creep in very innocently and keep you from really achieving the goal you want, or maybe sliding backwards a little bit. So today I'm hoping to share with you some really simple tips that can just get you back in focus and in line with what it is you say you really want for yourself. So 5 tips of what we're going to talk about today. But first, I'd like to take a second to just introduce myself. My name is DYANN. I am a fasting mindset coach. So I help women who are in this midlife season incorporate intermittent fasting as a lifestyle choice to help reverse the signs of aging, weight loss that's unexpected. A lot of body fat hoarding is going on for a lot of us. And then a lot of those creepy little, disease, I don't want to say disease, those creepy little things that are creeping up on us because we have just not changed or transitioned our lifestyle choices into the current lifestyle that we're living. So we're going to get into that today. So if you haven't done so yet, please take a second to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you've given this video a thumbs up so I know this is the content that you guys are interested in. And then for those of you joining us on Facebook, please take a second to follow the page over there. I do a lot of updating throughout the day, and I want to make sure that you guys are all getting all the notifications when new content is going up as well. And then as always, feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions that aren't answered in today's video. So we're going to do a little comment section communication as well today. So make sure that I know that you're in the comment section as well. So the first tip is you are not fasting, you're just not eating. And there is a big distinction between not being in a fasted state hormonally and chemically for your body to reap the benefits of what intermittent fasting can do, and then just not eating, right? So a lot of us think that if we are not like sitting down and having a formal type of meal experience, that we are fasting. And fasting really does need to have a chemical and hormonal change going on in your body so that you can reap the benefits of what that window is, right? So we want to make sure that we are not doing anything that's going to elicit an insulin response in our body. And we also want to make sure that we're fasting long enough so when that insulin drops at its lowest point around that 12-hour mark in a fasted state, that we're fasting long enough so we keep in a fasted state, right? And keep those insulin levels at bay so we can in fact take advantage of the fat burning or fat utilization opportunities that so many of us really want to reap from intermittent fasting. And that's just the like aesthetic part of things. But there's also a lot of really amazing health benefits that happen as well when we can in fact tap into the chemical and hormonal responses that our body can take advantage of when we are in a truly fasted state. So make sure that when you're fasting, that you are really fasting and not just pushing away like food experiences, right? So none of those, early morning elixirs that so many of us are leaning into, like lemon water, apple cider vinegar, putting sugar in your coffee, putting sugar alternatives in your coffee, loading up creamers, those kind of things. We want to think about our fasted window, right? And that point in which we start our day in the morning is really that time where we're starting to take advantage of what a fasting opportunity is. And so many of us are innocently breaking up that opportunity because we are doing just those little things that, a lot of people say are okay, which really aren't okay. If you're going to fast, fast. If you're going to feast, feast. So keep that feasting window long and clean, and you will reap some pretty amazing benefits. So tip number 1, you're not fasting, you're just not eating. So make sure you are creating the fasting environment. Okay, tip number 2. So many people are feasting because they just had a fast, right? And it's that mentality of I fasted so I can eat whatever I want to eat. And what I really like to coach and what I really like to emphasize is the feasting part of things. When you figure out your feasting window, when you pay attention to the signs and signals that your body's sending you, and for so many of us, It's the big mystery. We don't know why we're suddenly, intolerant to gluten. We're suddenly intolerant to dairy. We're suddenly intolerant to soy when those foods weren't problematic to us before we started going through these hormonal changes. Now they're the biggest problems, right? And really honing in on those signs and signals. If you consume something physically, like consume it, like you eat it, or you put it on your body, or there might be something in your environment that your body is picking up as some sort of toxic kind of thing for your system, that could be enough for you to not reap the benefits of what you're doing in your fasting window. So make sure you're feasting to support and get the best benefits from your next fast. That is the direct opposite of what a lot of people teach and what a lot of experts talk about with fasting. And I want you to think about how that makes sense for you. If you feast in more of that keto-like approach, so higher naturally occurring nutrient-dense fats, moderate to low amounts of protein. And I just heard some new scientific data that is out that really enforces that women are eating way too much protein, that you can really hone in on the benefits of what you're doing in your feast, and then really conscious carbohydrates. So lots of really good one ingredient, fresh carbohydrates are never going to do you wrong. It's the pesky little, snacky foods and all the little extras that are the carbohydrates that are really causing us to feel most frustrated. So keto-like, naturally occurring, nutrient-dense fats, we want to make sure that our protein is moderate to low and very conscious carbohydrates. That will support your next fast. So you can just ease through your next fasting experience. If you're not getting that feasting part right, I promise you, your fasting will feel really uncomfortable every day. And for a lot of women, the Monday fast is the worst because of the choices we're making on our weekend, right? So make sure you're feasting to support your next fast, not the other way around. Tip number 3 is you're not drinking enough water. I highly recommend 100 to 150 ounces of water every single day. I know that's not going to be perfect every single day, but that is really what we should be shooting for, and have electrolytes available in that water as well, or supplementing with electrolytes as well. It is not too much water. What we're finding here in this community is it's just enough water. Oftentimes when you're fasting, remember, you can be feeling fatigued, or you feel a little bit of those pings of just not having that food fixed. And water can really satisfy a lot of those cravings or a lot of those urges that we have to eat. It's often just a sign of dehydration. So the way I break up my 100 to 150 ounces of water a day goes like this. I start my day with 25 ounces of water. I do not have a sip of anything other than water. So I don't have my coffee unless I have one 25-ounce bottle of water in me. Check. Done. Then I try to make sure I have my second bottle of 25 ounces around my mid-morning time frame. By the time I hit the middle of my day, I like to have 3 bottles in. That's 75 ounces of water. Then I have a bottle around my breakfast time. That would be 100. Then I have a bottle with dinner, and then I have a bottle before I go to bed. So if you can space it out throughout your day, you don't feel like you're having to chug a bunch of water at one time. And then you also get a nice even spacing of staying hydrated and keeping those electrolytes in your system. So if you're not feeling successful with your fasting, really take some time to hone in on how much water you're getting in. I promise you, it's a very simple mistake to make. A lot of us walk around with water bottles thinking we're drinking it all day, but you don't drink it unless you empty it and then refill it to get another 25 ounces in. So how many times a day are you refilling your water bottle? And if you focus on that, I promise you, you'll get more water in, and then you'll feel a lot better during your fasting. And it just helps us metabolize everything in our body as well. And then tip number 4 is you're not getting enough sleep, and you're not getting good sleep. And I know for a lot of us women going through this menopausal season, sleep is a big problem for a lot of us. But it's a big problem because of the choices that we're making, not because of sleep itself. So some of the changes that I incorporated in my life when sleep was in fact a problem for me was really being careful about what I ate in the last part of my feasting window, right? Keeping those heavy carbohydrates out of the end of your feasting window. I actually do my best sleeping, even today, when I have a small portion of lean protein and a big fat bowl of vegetables. And I say fat bowl of vegetables because I add in lots of avocado, lots of olives, lots of avocado oil, hemp hearts, pumpkin seeds, those kind of things to up the fat. And I keep the animal protein low and just lots of fresh vegetables. I will always get my best restorative type of sleep on those kind of nights. So make sure that you're watching what you're eating in your feasting window, especially on the latter end of your feasting window. You also want to make sure you're monitoring your sleep, right? How much sleep are you getting, and is it restful and restorative sleep? You don't have to necessarily get a lot of sleep. You have to just make sure you're getting good sleep. So I say shoot between 7 and 9 hours of sleep. The other real big zinger as far as sleep for women, as far as getting enough good sleep, is breaking the habit of having empty calorie beverages toward the end of the night. That is one of those things that is just wreaking havoc on a lot of our sleep. So make sure you're being very honest about that as well. And then track your sleep for a little while. The answers are always going to be found when we start tracking and doing some of our own investigative work. So if you feel like sleep might be that thing that's keeping you from getting your best results with intermittent fasting, then track it for a little while and see if you can find some hidden clues in that. And when you wake up from a good night of sleep, your fast the next day is, again, just so much more pleasant and so much easier to get through, because you're not going to get those those pinging kind of sensations sent to your body that go to your brain thinking you need to eat because you're tired, right? So if you get the right amount of sleep, you're not going to get those feelings that you need to eat because you're tired, because you're going to be rested and ready to start your day. And then number 5, you are emotionally connected to an unrealistic goal. Fasting is a lifestyle that is just going to give you so many amazing benefits, health-wise, energy-wise, anti-aging wise, right? But for so many of us, we're fixated on an emotional number tied to success or failure. And that number happens when we put 2 feet on a scale. And that is not a very realistic way to approach something like incorporating an intermittent fasting lifestyle to reverse the signs of aging and to really help you live an amazing life and age successfully. We need to make sure that our why for what we're doing with intermittent fasting is not tied to that number that's not realistic. I know so many women who have completely reversed their life because of intermittent fasting, and weight was a non-issue, right? Because they felt better. They saw themselves in a healthier and happier light. Their life became very simple. They reversed a lot of the age-related conditions that they were dealing with. And then weight suddenly became unimportant. So if you can put weight at the bottom of the list, and you can make your goals around incorporating intermittent fasting more lifestyle related, and with the approach mentally and emotionally of you just want to make decisions that will allow you to look and feel your best and do it in your most authentic way, then the weight will come off when your body is ready to release it. We cannot force weight loss. We cannot just sacrifice everything that makes us happy so that we can reach a weight loss goal, because we know that those are fleeting moments. And as soon as we go back to doing things that make us happy, then we gain the weight back, because we haven't really defined what happy is yet. So make sure with intermittent fasting, you have a realistic goal that not only will get you the health and happiness that you want, but something that you can sustain as well. So really quick, the 5 tips, or the 5 mistakes that you could very innocently be making. You could be making one of them, or you could be making all of them, right? And it's super innocent to do, and then we end up frustrating and we leave this lifestyle. Is 1, make sure that you're actually putting your body in a chemically and hormonally available opportunity for fasting. So you want to make sure that you're not doing anything in your fasting window that's going to interrupt a fasted state. It is more than just not eating. You have to consider every decision you're making in that fasting window, and is it going to take you away from the goals that you say that you really want for yourself? And I always say, when in doubt, keep it clean, keep it long. Number 2, you're fasting so that you can feast. So I just fasted 20 hours. Now I can feast on whatever it is that I say that I want to eat because I just fasted. We know that that is not true. So what I like women to do is flip the script on that and consider how you're going to feast so that your next fast is a powerful one. And what I like to teach is the keto-like approach to our nutritional choices: higher naturally occurring fats, moderate to low, yes, I said low amounts of protein, and very conscious in your carbohydrate decision-making process. So carbohydrates are not bad for us, but carbohydrates seem to be the thing that we reach for that are the most processed, right? So you want to make sure that when you're making your carbohydrate choices, they are as one ingredient as possible, and they're going to be loaded with nutrients. So you don't have to worry about not getting enough nutrients if you're making those very conscious choices in your feasting window. And number 3, you're not drinking enough water. I like to teach 100 to 150 ounces of water with electrolytes in it. So there's a way that you can do that by just staggering it throughout your day. Number 4, you're not getting enough sleep. Sleep is where our body rests and recovers. So you want to make sure you're getting that type of sleep. If you're not sure if your sleep is restorative, you need to track it. You can track it on a watch. You can track it with an Oura ring. You can track how many hours you're sleeping, and then track what you're doing before you sleep. So what are you doing in your feasting window that could be causing some interruptions in your sleep and maybe some of the lifestyle habits you have as well? And then number 5, the big doozy of mistakes that a lot of people are making about intermittent fasting is you're setting unrealistic goals that are emotionally connected to you, but may not be connected to intermittent fasting. So we want to go for the lifestyle changes first. We want to go for the health improvements and the anti-aging benefits first. That comes with mistakes number 1 or 4 being eliminated. And then just enjoy the process of what happens when you fast long, feast well, and train smart. I promise you the weight will come off when you make the mental connection to the decisions that you're making. And it really comes down to this. Are you making choices based on what you want in the moment? Or are you making choices based on what it is you say you really want for your lifetime? What you want in the moment is going to be the thing that's not going to serve you very well with the goals that you're setting for yourself. What you really want for the long-term benefits and the lifestyle that you want to make so you can age successfully is where you should focus your attention so that you have very realistic goals for you. So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comment section, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Are any one of these mistakes something that you might be innocently making or maybe had no idea could be a mistake that you're making with intermittent fasting? Let me know in the comment section. I will come back around and make sure that I address your comment and help you maybe undo that mistake and think a little bit more realistically about how you can make some subtle changes so that you can get the best benefits with your intermittent fasting. This is an amazing lifestyle for sure. It is a very simple lifestyle, but life plays tricks on us, right? And our brain starts to make us question what we're doing. And so I always like to coach, go back to the basics, right? Go back to really simple lifestyle choices. I know for myself, we're going to have an empty house for the first time in about 1.5 years. And I'm really excited about going back to the basics myself, right? Where it's just me at home by myself in my fasting window, going long and clean and really taking advantage of that energized sense of calm. The beautiful thing about intermittent fasting, once you understand it, once you know what the benefits are for you, you can always, always, always just slim it down and go back to the basics and then let life happen when life happens and then go back to the basics. And that's what I love about how I teach this lifestyle as well, is the ebb and flow factor as well. Just make sure you stay out of that negative mindset so that you can come back to the basics when you're ready to do so. Denise, graduate of IF and Mindset course. Girlfriend, love having you back here with us. Make sure you're checking off these 5 mistakes, like run it like a checklist. Yes, I'm drinking enough water. Yes, I'm getting enough sleep. Yes, my goals are realistic. Yes, I'm fasting to fast and I'm not just not eating, right? Always run that checklist to make sure that you've got everything dialed in nice and tight so that you'll be able to keep these benefits for sure. And Sharon, thank you for helping me start my week off in a positive way. I've been making lots of little mistakes. Yeah, we all do. And that's why I'm really going back to the basics for the rest of this year, probably with intermittent fasting, to really help you guys remember how simple this is, right? Because I myself get sidetracked and a little caught off guard by some of the advice that's given there. And, oh, maybe I need to try this, and maybe I need to try this. And then before you know it, you're feeling all stressed out and everything seems super complicated when it really can be simple. How long are you going to fast today? And how well are you going to feast today? Just answer those two questions based on the realistic goals that you have for yourself. And I promise you, your life will be super simple and you will, in fact, be looking and feeling your best and living your most authentic life. Yeah, going back to the basics. Yeah, for sure, Anna. I think it's great. It's always a nice little refresher. Here's the great thing about going back to the basics with intermittent fasting as well is no grocery store hauls, no major food prep, no expensive buying of all the things. You just do nothing, right? Do nothing for 20 hours of your day and then make sure that you're eating a really nutrient-dense feast so that that next day's fast feels fantastic as well. So that's what I love about jumping back into intermittent fasting as far as the basics. You don't have to do a lot. It's all just how you're going to think about it for sure. Need more water. Just thought of this the other day. Yeah, for sure. I like to use 25-ounce bottles. We have a water delivery service, so we have a water with our minerals in it here at home. So this is a 25-ounce bottle. I just track how many times I refill this every day. Don't track how much you drink. It's another one of those mindset shifts, right? Don't track how much you're drinking. How many times have you refilled this in a day, right? So I need to make sure that I refill this 5 times because I start off with a full one. So that would be my first bottle. So if I refill this 5 times in a day, I'll get my 150 ounces of water. T. Clark, struggling with getting into a routine, beginning fasting. Yeah, you just have to, you treat it like anything else. I'll grab my planner. I track my fast in my planner. I'm a planner girl, paper and pen kind of person. So I track it there. Apps don't really work for me. I get distracted and forget to start and stop them. So I just set a time that I start my fast. I set a time that I break my fast and I do nothing in between. That's as basic as you need to get for sure. Pick a time you break your fast. Pick a time you start your fast, do nothing in between. And then Dawn, can I take vitamins during my fast? I always recommend if you want to get a really good, clean, like body healing, cellular reset type of fast, don't do anything. Don't risk what a manufacturer is doing with vitamins and putting that in your body if your goal is a clean body healing type of fast. Just do it when you break your fast or do it right before you start your next fast for sure. So have it maybe in the evening if you're feasting in the evening. I don't like to risk that. There's a lot of really good clean supplement companies out there, but I just don't like to risk it. So if I'm going for clean, I'd put nothing in but water or black coffee. And if I'm going clean, it's just water. So it just all depends on what your goals are and how clean you want your fast to be. And then you just play with it from there. The beautiful thing again about intermittent fasting, we have our people here who are saying they're going back to basics, right? Is you ebb and flow. So in the summertime when people are in and out of my house and we're doing more family things, I tend to loosen the reins a little bit, but stay within the confines of the boundaries that I've set for myself. Then when everybody's gone and I can really concentrate on me being in a space by myself and I can control what's going on around me, then I go deep into my fasting because it's just easier for me. So remember, you have that opportunity to ebb and flow to just set boundaries for yourself and don't go beyond those boundaries for sure. And then Mary, can I take my daily morning medications during my fast? If you're on prescription medication that's issued to you from a doctor, you need to speak with your doctor. I can't tell you anything to do with your medication. So I would ask your doctor or tell your doctor what it is you're wanting to do, and then ask your doctor when the best time to take your medicine is. A lot of times medicine has to be taken with a certain type of food for the efficacy of the medicine. So I would clear that up with your doctor for sure, and then just make a very informed decision after that for sure. Herbal tea. I don't know what's in your herbal tea. So I would say be very, very clear on the ingredients in any tea that you're going to put in your feasting window. And if you want to go clean, this goes back to, tip number 1. Are you fasting or are you just not eating? If you have something in your herbal tea that will create an insulin type response in your body, you just ceased any opportunity for fat utilization, and you could have created an opportunity for fat storage. So is your tea so good that you're willing to risk what it is you want to do with your fasting? And then you have to make that decision there. If you've tried the tea and it hasn't kept you from getting the results that you want, and if weight loss or body fat are goals that you have, and you're seeing those goals take place, then your tea is not going to be a problem for you. But you have to test it, and then you have to make sure, this is why I'm a mindset coach for fasting, you have to make sure if you test it and the test doesn't go as planned, you have to be okay in your head and not tell yourself it's not fasting that's causing you to not get results. It's always the choices that we make in either our fasting window or our feasting window that are not getting us the results that we want. So make sure you're doing the mindset work so you're not sabotaging yourself and cutting yourself off from a great opportunity before you reach it. Yeah, T. Clark, yikes for sure. One of my very favorite herbal teas had soy lecithin in it, and soy lecithin in my body is like poison. And I'm, sipping my tea thinking everything's, great with the tea. And then I read deeply into the ingredients and there was soy in there. And that is the thing that keeps me completely out of balance. So make sure if you're going to risk it, it's worth the risk. And if it's not worth the risk, just keep it clean and enjoy your tea at another window. And maybe that just means you shorten your fast so that you can have an opportunity to enjoy your tea. So the authentic life part is very important. So the goal is to utilize intermittent fasting so that you can look and feel your best, right? That's the first goal. And then while living your most authentic life. So if tea is something you enjoy, seek out a tea that's not going to disrupt what it is you want. Reset. My fasts have been complicated by me taking melatonin at night. It's just so hard to fall asleep, and I was kind of desperate. Yeah, I mean, if you have to use something like melatonin for better sleep and you know that works for you, then you have to be okay with that in your own head, right? Like if melatonin helps you sleep and you're tracking your sleep and you're getting better sleep with melatonin than without melatonin, then you have to be okay with taking melatonin. But make sure you've done all the other work first, right? Is it something in your feasting window that could be making your sleep bad? Are you a wine drinker? Wine is that thing that just keeps us up, right? It is not a depressant kind of sleepy kind of thing that we can use at the end of the day. It will make you have a horrible night of sleep. That's just sad to say, I know, for a lot of us who love our wine, but you have to be willing to give up a night of sleep. Like what kind of carbohydrates are you consuming? Or protein is another one of those things that could keep you awake at night as well. So you have to do all the research. Could it be something in your room that's keeping you up? Are you watching TV too late? Could you start reading a book? Could you take a bath? Like, are you doing all the other things first and checking those off? And now you're like, okay, now my last resort is melatonin. And if that is the last resort and it is working for you, then just don't beat yourself up about it and use it as a tool for that for sure. I just want to make sure that we're making a clear distinction between tools and crutches. Maybe I'll do a video on that Thursday. Are the things that you're choosing to do tools that are enhancing what you're doing, or are they crutches that we're using as sort of quick fixes? So I'll talk about that on Thursday's live to kind of help you guys as well. But I got to go. I'm trying to keep these at about 30 minutes. Thank you so much for everyone who left a comment in the comment section. I appreciate you guys. This is a lot more fun for me when I get to actually have conversations with you guys. Keep suggestions coming for areas in which you're feeling stuck or confused about fasting, and I will bring that to our community conversations as well so we can open up some dialogue about it. And then remember, we do have our intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course. We just started one on Saturday. We'll start our next one next month on the first Saturday of the month. So make sure you get on my email list so that way you guys can stay in the loop there as well of everything we have going on behind the scenes in our community. All the information can be found in the description box below. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out on a Monday morning with me. Remember, fast long, feast well, train smart. If you're going to reap the benefits from a fast, make sure you use these 5 mistakes, right, as a checklist. Am I making this mistake or am I clear? Am I making this mistake or am I clear? It's really that simple. And then just always go back to these to refresh your memory about what intermittent fasting can really do for us, because we all get sidetracked. We all slip up. That's okay. Just go back to the basics. Anna, you are super welcome, girlfriend. I will see you guys hopefully on Thursday or anywhere around our community. Always feel free to jump in. I'm here to serve you. I hope you have a great fast today. Enjoy your feast tonight, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Mary, I'll get your question really quick. I'm on the go a lot. What can I take with me to break my fast if I'm out and about when my fasting window? Well, I have kind of a little saying I have in this community is when in doubt, fast it out. I would say if you're a seasoned intermittent faster and you're out and about and you're ready to break your fast, ask if you're really ready to break your fast or can you keep it going a little longer? Maybe have some water with you. Olives are a great thing to kind of like take the edge off when you're getting ready to break your fast. I'm trying to think of what else I do. Just look around for some healthy snacks, nuts are a great thing too. And then, or just completely have a break fast meal that you carry with you. And we'll bring that into a community conversation too as well. So have a good day, guys. I'll see you later.